Hey guys, this is Nathan Pennington from RunDreamAchieve.com, and today's video I just wanted to talk about, just give you some advice on how to run faster. I think this is this is a topic that a lot of distance runners are trying to leverage their hard work and efforts and trying to get better results. A lot of times we work very, very hard and we don't get the results that we want. I've had to experience that a lot of times over the years. Having started running back in 1992, just recently retiring from competitive athletics, over the years I dealt with a lot of trials and ebbs and flows in training when, I thought running more miles was the answer. And, when it comes down to it, you gotta learn to work smarter rather than working harder. You know, Higher mileage doesn't guarantee you better results. And a lot of times you can do every single thing correctly. You can get plenty of rest. You can be getting out there doing tempo runs. You're out there doing your long runs, and it can just be something small that's really causing the issue. For me back in 2007, something that caused me serious detriment to my performances was the fact that I was anemic. I never knew anything about it. I'd never gotten a blood test over the years. Back in 2007, when I was coached by Lisa Rainsberger. Lisa won the 1985 Boston Marathon. She was the last American female prior to Des Linden that won the Boston Marathon for a number of years. I think Linden won it in 2016 or 17. I may be wrong on that, but prior to Des Linden winning that, Lisa was the last American female to win it. And having spent so many years, doing workouts and trying different methods of workouts to try to run faster, I had never considered getting my blood tested. So she suggested that, and I went in and found out that my ferritin levels were far too low. I think it was around 16 or 17, and for a male, that's not good at all. So what I started to do was take 65 milligram tablets of vitamin C, or not vitamin C, iron, and I did that for about 3 months, a couple times a week, and gradually over time, I went back in and had my blood tested, my ferritin levels of my blood tested, and they raised up. I think it was around 17 initially, and I got it up to around 60 to 65. And that small change made magnificent results. I was starting to really start running some great personal bests. I was feeling a lot stronger in training and in the races themselves. But that's something that I never considered. So if for whatever reason you're doing everything right and you're not getting the results you're looking for, or you're feeling fatigued, and you're trying to figure out what is going on, don't second guess yourself, and don't think that it's either something that you're getting too old or your best performances are behind you. Like I said, some of the things that the little things that we're not picking up on can make the biggest differences. So definitely consider getting a blood test. See what your ferritin levels are and what your iron levels are. Those two components of the blood play a significant role in oxygen transport throughout the body. If you're running low on iron, you're running low on ferritin, definitely glutathione. It's something else that hardly any athlete, any coach I've ever spoken with over the past 28 years of competing has ever brought up to me. Glutathione is the body's master antioxidant. Every cell of the human body creates it, but as we age and also, as we fatigue and we're putting in, those high mileage weeks, you can run dangerously low on glutathione. And if you are, glutathione also plays a big role in oxygen transport throughout the body, but it also detoxifies the body of free radicals, heavy metals, things that are definitely will play a huge factor in your overall how you're feeling in training and in racing. Without proper oxygen transport throughout the body, you're gonna have a very, very difficult time. Your muscles have to be working at optimal levels. So definitely consider that as well. Those are two huge tips that I wish I would have known decades ago. Not back in 2007. Like I said, I didn't know anything about, and in fact, glutathione, I didn't know anything about it until 2013. I have a bachelor's and a master's degree in exercise science, and I had never even heard of glutathione. And I've run across physicians, nurses, um, physician assistants that don't even bring it up to them, and they don't know, and then they have to go back in and research it. You can go on PubMed. It's on online. It's basically the internet's authority on medical peer-reviewed articles, and you can type in glutathione, and there'll be about 145 to 150,000 medical peer-reviewed articles written about it. So, like I said, big pieces, big tips here. If you're running low on motivation and you're feeling like crap in training, get your blood tested, find out what your ferritin levels are and your iron levels, and glutathione. I think it's the abbreviation for it's GSH. So those three things are huge tips to help you run faster, set new personal best, and really gain a lot of confidence. A couple other things while I'm here. I've reiterated this several times in other videos, but the importance of the long run. Don't spend every single weekend running slow. Easy running is still very important. I don't want to come across as saying that you have to be running fast, or you have to be all the time, or you have to be running high mileage all the time. You try doing that, and it'll give you you'll definitely become far more frustrated, and you'll get detrimental results. You want a return on your investment. You're putting in a ton of work. So again, it goes back to working smarter rather than harder. Higher mileage isn't always the answer, and lower mileage isn't always the answer. But the quality of your mileage, what you're putting into those miles, is what counts. You can run low mileage, but if it's quality and you have equal focus on recovery, you can get some great results. Depending on where your capabilities are. Obviously, if you're somebody that's trying to break a 3-hour marathon, that's very competitive running. So the faster you get, the more that's going to be asked of you. And it doesn't mean somebody that's a 5-hour marathoner or a 35 or 40-minute 5K athlete doesn't have to work just as hard as somebody that's a 15-minute 5K athlete or a 220 or 230 marathoner. We all have to work hard, but we all have different capabilities and different physiological makeups. So the long run, the piece of advice I can share with you that made the biggest difference for me, to go from a 243 marathoner to a 219.35 personal best, was the fact that I changed up how fast I was running that long run. For me personally, back in 2007 up to around 2014, I would do my long runs at 160 beats per minute. For me, that was around 85% maximum heart rate. Obviously, that's going to change based on your age. So, back when 2007, I was 31. I'm 43 now. So around there, I was running around 85 to 87% max heart rate. And a good way to get your estimated max heart rate is to subtract your age from 220. So, and again, that's just it's a round number. It's kind of like the equation a lot of online experts say to try to get an estimate of where your maximum heart rate is. That's just the heart rate. Obviously, there's no way to really test the mind. What you can do when you put your mind to something is huge. For me personally, I was my personal best for the mile when I was a freshman in high school was 5:09. Okay, I graduated my senior year with a 4:25 mile personal best, so I went from 5:09 to 4:25. But even as a 4:25 miler, 25 mile high school senior, looking back now, I would have really never envisioned myself running a 219 marathon. That's it's an average of 5:19 per mile. I knew that I had a small amount of talent, but not a lot, and I had to really work hard for it. So just stay motivated in terms of your training, in terms of preparing for your races. Don't get caught up in being so much concerned about what other athletes are doing or what you think you're capable of doing. You got to continue to look ahead and challenge yourself and get out of your comfort zone on a daily basis. But you also have to train very smart. If you want great results, if you want to make that huge pie in the sky goal that you have for yourself, you have to not only train hard, but you have to have definitely a belief in delayed gratification. It took me from 1992 to 2007 to break 2 hours and 20 minutes for the marathon. I started running marathons in 2002, so it took me from 02 to 07 to break the standard, but really it took me from the time I started running back in 1992 to be able to perform at that level, to get it right and to set a new personal best. So, sometimes your goals you may be able to achieve them in a few months or a couple years, or it may take a couple decades. So you really got to find out what your why is, and continue on a daily basis to really work hard and to go after it, because this is a sport that that demands a lot out of us as athletes. But that being said, we all have different goals. I mean, for me, it was to try to make an Olympic trial standard and to possibly make the Olympic team. Those were really far-fetched goals, but they were, like I said, that was my kind of pie in the sky goal. How far could I push myself? And that's what I want to do with these videos with you. Is just to help athletes, regardless if you're a total beginner or you're overweight, or you're trying to break a 4-hour marathon or a 3-hour marathon, or trying to break the 20-minute barrier for 5K, or just getting in that mindset of what does it take? What do I have to do to achieve this crazy goal that I have? Billy Mills, the 1964 Olympic gold 10,000 meter medalist, said it perfectly. He said, "The subconscious mind cannot tell the difference between reality and imagination." And Billy went into that race in the 1964 10,000 meter final with a personal best for the 10K about 2 minutes slower than his competitors. I think his PR at the time was around like 29:40, and I may be wrong, but I know it was around, because he said it in his video, it was around 2 minutes slower than what he ran. And he ended up winning the gold medal with a time of 28 minutes and 24 seconds. And he said that he was visualizing, dozens of times on a daily basis, seeing himself win that Olympic gold medal. And I'm a firm believer that mental training is it's even more important than physical training. We've gotten really good at training for our 5Ks and 10Ks and marathons, ultra marathons. We got the physical part down. But that mental piece of training, that visualizing yourself, seeing yourself succeeding, is critical. I spent years seeing myself breaking what my goal at the time was, to break a 2-hour and 22-minute marathon. I knew that was 5 minutes and 25 seconds per mile. I had to sustain that pace over 26.2 miles, and I saw myself over and over and over on a daily basis seeing 2:21:59 on the clock. And I achieved that goal. I broke 2 hours and 22 minutes, but I also broke 2 hours and 20 minutes. And so I'm not saying this to impress you, but I am saying it to impress upon you that you have to see your goals before they occur. You have to see that crazy, unimaginable, unattainable, what you may at this point think is an unattainable goal in your mind, and continue to focus on it. You will achieve what you want to go after, but you've got to want it. You've got to desire it. It's got to be white hot. It's got to be razor sharp. You got to have that razor sharp focus, like that do whatever it takes mindset and mentality to go after what you want. So yeah, this is just wanted to share a video, make a video about some of the tips that can help you, some advice to help you run faster. And I hope this video has been helpful in some way to you. I love sharing some of my background and experience that I experienced, that definitely shows that everybody, regardless of the capability, everybody deals with ebbs and flows in training, doubts and times where you think that you don't have what it takes. But a lot of times, like I said, it could be just a couple things that you're doing wrong that you need to adjust, or definitely if it's on a physiological level, or if you're running low on a mineral or nutrient, um, those are things where you can have all the motivation in the world, and if you're running a low on something like that, like glutathione or iron or ferritin, uh, those three components of your blood, uh, that can really hamper your racing and your training. So definitely keep those in consideration. Always seek out the advice of a physician. I'm definitely not a physician, but I have years of experience in terms of exercise science and athletic performance. So I just wanted to share that with you. If you haven't yet, definitely click on the subscribe button if you haven't subscribed yet to the videos. I definitely appreciate my viewers, and if you have a specific question, leave a comment below in this video down in the description or below the video. I'll leave some helpful information as well in the description for you that may be of assistance to you. I've created training courses on RunDreamAchieve.com, training programs for beginners to elite level athletes at the 5K to marathon distance, and I'm continuing to build the RunDreamAchieve brand as well. So most important thing is helping athletes here in America and around the world achieve their goals and to surpass their goals. And some of these tips that I've shared in this video, I hopefully will be of assistance to you, and you can look back and you're like, man, I didn't know anything about that, but I'm glad you brought that up. I hope that's something that you can walk away with this video with. So wherever you are in the world, I wish you a happy evening, happy afternoon, happy morning, and I'll talk to you in the next video.